So some more developments for today. I've been fiddling around with my OBDIIC&C CAN LTO prototype. You've seen this, which is the cheap analog joystick development. So I've made some tweaks to that. I was testing this yesterday and it worked quite nicely, but I've still done a few more tweaks to that. So it's currently plugged into the car on the bench. There's no HV connected or powered up. It's just the low voltage side, so I can communicate with the OBDIIC&C. So you can see it's sitting there working. So I was trying to expand some of the capabilities of it, and it's amazing how flexible and versatile it actually is, because it's got a logging output port, if you remember here on the side, which is a 3.5mm jack. That's actually connected internally to the UART port of the PIC, so that means you can drive it quite fast with serial data. So it's set at 57,600 bits per second, and that's the maximum speed of the little Tellymate video converter chips, which you will have seen me use. There's one in the BCM Replacer, for instance. There's going to be one in the OBDIIC&C version 2. So I wanted to see if I could actually make the original OBD talk with one of those. So I've reconfigured the socket in here to have 5V power and ground and the signal to the 3.5mm jack. That's not the standard setup, so I just had to tweak a bit in the back. But basically then that leads to a little tiny box here, which has got the little tiny Tellymate video converter in. Unfortunately I haven't got one of those to show you at the moment because I haven't got any spare, but you'll be familiar with those. Quite a small little device, and that changes the serial data into a into RCA video signal for NTSC or PAL video screens. And there we have the LBO OBDIIC&C data on a little video screen there. So that's basically displaying everything that the OBDIIC&C can. And it's displaying it at the same time as the OBDIIC&C is working, but you get everything all on one screen. So you've got all the 16 parameters on the top 4 lines, which we normally have to cycle through the screens on the LCD to get those, and then we've got the LTO summary, and then we've got the 6 blocks for my 72 cell LTO setup there. We've got the blocks number and the ID, and then obviously with the voltages, but of course there's nothing there because they're not connected, but they would all be populated with relevant data. And that's all that does at the moment. It was just a proof of concept video really, this, just to see if we could get the OBDIIC&C to drive the video device and then drive the screen. So it's doing both simultaneously, which is quite good. So this just works as normal. You can do all the normal things that you can do with the OBDIIC&C. It restarts, obviously, goes back, and then the screen repopulates, and away you go. So that's quite nice. So I might add that as an option. Well, it's going to be, certainly this is how the OBDIIC&C version 2 will work. You'll have the option of that or the video screen, and that will be built into the firmware. So this was just basically to see if I could do it with the version 1 printed circuit boards, which you can. So I'll think around with that, and I might post a video about what actually I needed to do inside here, which wasn't much. I just had to move a couple of wires, and I also moved my charger wire yet again, which I had it connected to the SCS wire to control my external charger, but I've moved it now to one of the pins I sacrificed on here, because this logging port was actually a two-way port originally in the original design for the OBDIIC&C. Transmission port and a reception port. Well, we never used the reception port, so I've reconfigured that now, and that is my charger port, the reception port there, because we never use that. But we're now using the transmission port at the maximum speed for the video, which you can see here. So that's quite good.